Hello learners! So I was asked in the comment section, what are the ways that we can improve our memory? Especially if you're this kind of person na makakalimutin. So this episode is for those people who think they have a poor memory, who likes to learn ways on how to make their memory more powerful para mas makapag-aral sila, they can learn and study better. So stay tuned if you are that kind of person. Paano nga ba natin i-enhance yung ating memory? Yun yung tatalakayan natin ngayon. Now, before we go on to the tips or insights on how we can improve our memory, let's ask ourselves this question. How does memory develop? And the answer to that, most of the time, okay, let's say 95% of the time, memory develops through repetition. So kapag ang isang information or kapag ang isang experience ay paulit-ulit, tumitibay yun, nagkakaroon ng connection sa ating brain, and that's what creates memory. Okay? Kaya nga meron tayong tinatawag na learning curve na sa simula, when we are trying to remember or learn a particular information, kailangan maraming ulit yan sa simula up until such time na magpipik siya, and then later on, dadali na yung pag-recall natin sa information na yon. So the basis of memory is actually through repetition. And I guess, genetically speaking, magkakaiba tayo. What I mean by that is some people can memorize an information with little repetition, some siguro medium quantity of repetition, and some others, they need longer repetition or more repetition para ma-establish yung memory or yung learning sa kanilang brain. So yun yung pag-uusapan natin. How can we shorten the gap of how can we shorten the number of repetitions for us to remember something? And yun yung magiging basehan natin ng pagpapatibay sa ating memory. Now, I told you earlier that most of the time, we create memories through repetition. Pero may few times kung saan nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na one trial learning. Kung saan, kahit hindi pa ulit-ulit yung information or experience, the neurons will connect in a magnified way to the point na kahit isang beses lang yan, matibay yung connection, and that will now create memory. So yun yung one trial learning na sinasabi. And as it turns out, one trial learning works because there is a strong emotional charge while that learning is happening or while that experience is happening. So think of something like negative emotion, like trauma. Ang mga tao, bakit sila natutrauma? Bakit nagre-recur sa kanila yung memory ng masalimuot na pangyayari na yon? It's because that experience causes a strong negative emotional charge, and that induces one trial learning. Another example, probably on the benefit side, no, or the positive side, I mean, hindi lang naman negative experience but also positive experience. Think of nung sinagot ka nung crush mo or some other milestone sa buhay mo na hindi natin nakakalimutan. Birthdays, graduation, Christmas celebrations, kung ikinasal ka na. So these things will also tend to induce one trial learning. Kaya siguro, hirap tayo makamove on, di ba? Kasi masasaya yung mga experience natin with our exes. Kaya nung nag-break tayo, ang hirap makalimutan ng experiences na yun because that pagsasama nyo, yung journey nyo is filled with positive emotional charge. And of course, nung nag-break kayo, it is already filled with negative emotional charge. Kaya hindi nyo yun makakalimutan. Kaya nahihirapan tayong mag-move on. So the idea here of one trial learning, does it suggest now na kapag nag-aaral kayo or when you are studying, You make your studying more emotional. So, ibig bang sabihin nun, nagre-review ka, nanonood ka ng isang malungkot na movie or nagpapatugtog ka ng isang malungkot na music? No, not necessarily. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin nito, let's go deep into the principle. Bakit nga ba nagkakaroon ng one trial learning? What makes, well, I have told you earlier that emotion makes the binding of your neurons stronger, kaya nagkakaroon ng one trial learning. But what specific substance it is? So we're going to the science. What specific substance in our body or chemical in our body that induces this one trial learning? So as it turns out, when we are emotionally charged, yung katawan natin ay nagpuproduce ng adrenaline. And that adrenaline now is the chemical that strengthens our recall or memory of a particular thing. Adrenaline, pinapakapal niya ngayon yung connection between neurons na kahit isang beses mo lang na-experience ang isang bagay, it now creates one trial learning. Right? So what is adrenaline? Classic example, kapag hinabol ka ng aso, yan, nagkakaroon ka ng adrenaline rush na tinatawag, kung saan your focus, all of your energy is dedicated to running. So yung rush na yon, that's adrenaline rush. Kakatapos mo mag-exercise, that is also adrenaline rush. So ibig sabihin yan, if you are learning something, you want to incorporate adrenaline, especially at the end of your learning session, to supercharge yung memory mo. Okay. So that's the role of adrenaline. And adrenaline, fortunately, kung mahilig kang magkape, is found in your coffee. Or coffee induces adrenaline production in our body. So ano ba kasi yung ginagawa ng kape sa ating katawan? First and foremost, pinapababa niya yung tinatawag nating adenosine ng ating katawan. Adenosine is this chemical that makes us sleepy. Okay? Yung nagpapaantok sa atin, binablock niya yon. So we feel more alive, we feel more awake. It triggers our body to produce adrenaline. So we feel alert and focused. And at the same time, it allows our body to use more efficiently yung dopamine na pinuproduce ng ating katawan. But let's focus on adrenaline. So coffee induces our body to produce adrenaline, which is the same chemical now that supercharges our neurons when it comes to strengthening the memory. The question now is, kailan ka magkakape? As it turns out, research suggests na if we follow the logic of one trial learning, pinaka-effective yung kape right after learning or at least at the end of your learning. Not in the beginning of your learning and also not during your learning, but at the end of your learning or after your learning. So when you're learning, gusto mo magkape ka in the end and makikinabang yung pagkakape mo, magikinabang yung katawan mo sa pagkakape mo na yon by producing adrenaline, and that adrenaline now will strengthen the connection between your neurons. So that is tip number 1. If you are drinking coffee, mahilig ka sa kape, then drink your coffee at the end of your study session. Now, what if hindi ka mahilig magkape? Well, you can take advantage of some behavioral protocol para makapag-induce ng adrenaline. Ano yung mga behavioral protocol na to? One is exercise. So right after learning, pwede kang mag-exercise, specifically cardio exercises. So cardio exercises can produce adrenaline to your body that could help strengthen your memory. Another one would be cold showers. So cold showers, right after studying, kapag naligo ka ng malamig, yung shock na nare-receive mo, yung tipong you are breathing heavily and your eyes are wide open, so yun yung adrenaline sa yung katawan. So you can also take advantage of that if hindi ka nagkakape. So kung hindi ka nagkakape, you can exercise, cardio exercises at the end of your session, or you can also do cold showers. The important idea here is that you take advantage of adrenaline right after learning. Yun yung pinaka-effective na time frame para mas ma-improve natin yung memory natin or yung ating learning session. The second idea is self-explanatory, but I would still discuss it because it is very important. It is having a good sleep, specifically deep sleep. So, ang pagtulog ay napakahalaga talaga sa pagpapatalas ng memorya. So, if your memory is poor, you've got to ask yourself, are you sleeping good? Or is your sleeping habit very bad na nakakaapekto siya sa performance ng brain mo? As it turns out, when we sleep, specifically when we do deep sleep, okay, yung hindi tayo agad-agad nagigising, kumbaga, the neurons in our brain consolidates information. And, nasabi ko na to dun sa last episode natin, when we sleep, the brain is actually learning 100 times faster than we are at the actual study session or learning session na ginagawa natin. So, yun yung kahalagahan ng pagtulog. So, ayusin mo yung sleeping habits mo. Kapag you want to enhance your memory, you want to improve your learning, that's one of the aspect that you need to improve on. You need to get at least 7 to 9 hours sleep. In terms of quality, dapat hindi ka nagigising-gising. You need to sleep at the same time per day, consistent. And iwasan natin na nagpupuyat or gumagamit ng any substances that induces sleep. Like alak and melatonin. Yan. Melatonin, ginagamit ko yan kasi night shift worker ako, pero hindi ko yan ginagamit everyday. I just use that if I need to shift my time from working ng gabi to sleeping na ng gabi. And anyways, that is sleep. Good sleep means good memory. The other one is exercise. Although nasabi ko na sa inyo kanina yung exercise sa part nung adrenaline, but I would just highlight how important exercise is. Yung ating neuroplasticity na tinatawag or when our brain changes because of learning, nangyayari yon due to 3 mechanisms. It's either there is strengthening of connections between neurons. It could either be mayroong weakening of connections between neurons. So strengthening and weakening doesn't imply positive and negative. Kumbaga, we just leave it as it is, na when our neurons strengthen and weaken connections, it is actually producing neuroplasticity in our brain. So, neutral siya, kumbaga. Hindi siya positive kapag strengthening and negative kapag weakening. Pero kailangan yun ng brain natin to induce neuroplasticity. Now, it could either be strengthening neurons, weakening neurons, and yung pangatlo, it could be through neurogenesis. Now, neurogenesis, according to research, hindi siya madalas nangyayari sa neuroplasticity. Ang madalas na nangyayari is yung strengthening of neurons and weakening of neurons. Yung neurogenesis or yung pag-develop ng bagong neurons sa ating brain, I forgot to define it, is bihirang mangyari. But when we do exercises, specifically zone 2 cardio exercises, wherein hingal tayo and hirap tayo makipag-usap, as it turns out, exercise induces neurogenesis. Ibig sabihin, when we exercise, the brain is creating new neurons for us. And yung new neurons na yon correlates or it is in relation to strengthening our memory. It causes strengthening of our memory. So yun yung nabibigay pala ng exercise natin. And the higher the cardio exercise that we do, and the longer it is, okay, then every sweat counts, nakikinabang tayo sa neurogenesis. Diba? So, amazing. Okay? Yun, kung may kung may merit para mag-exercise, ito yun. Okay? Gusto mong mapaganda yung memory mo? Exercise, because exercise will produce more neurons in your brain and it will improve your memory. So ano yung protocol sa exercise natin? You need to exercise at least 180 minutes per week of zone 2 exercises. But if you can do more, then do more. Every sweat counts. If you can do less, do less. It is better na may exercise ka kahit 10 minutes or 5 minutes per day lang kaysa sa wala. So if you exercise, nakikinabang ka dun sa neurogenesis and that will now improve your memory. So that's third tip. Pang-apat na tip would be meditation. So in the study conducted by Dr. Suzuki sa New York University, naalala ko pa siya, meditation enhances mood, it enhances attention, and it enhances memory. Okay? It is very apparent, lalo na sa mga subjects nila who have done the meditation in 8 weeks time. So, gaano kahaba yung meditation na to? 13 minutes lang. 13 minutes of meditation in 8 weeks time could actually improve your memory. Okay. So, sinasabi sa research na to, mag-meditate kayo. And how would you know that you are meditating correctly? Well, it varies, I suppose. Pero the basic principle of meditation is simply you become mindful of your body. So, you become mindful of your breathing, nagkakaroon ka ng scanning of your body, you become aware of your hands, you become aware of the tuktok ng yung bunbunan ng ulo natin, you become aware of your toes, etc. But if you want to be guided, yung tinatawag nating guided meditation, you can still listen to a lot of guided meditations sa Spotify and sa YouTube. Ang mahalaga dito, do 13 minutes of meditation. Now, I would say, it's not that I am comparing meditation to prayer, but I would say prayer is also a form of meditation. So if you're religious, if you're spiritual, you can, you know that you are taking advantage of this as well, that when you are praying, it is also possible that you can enhance your mood, you can enhance your attention, and you can enhance your memory. So yun, yung 4 na tip na ibibigay ko sa inyo on how to improve and enhance your memory. So shout out nga pala kay Dr. Andrew Huberman or sa andrewhubermanlab.com because doon ko nakukuha yung mga idea na to na sinishare ko sa inyo. And believe me, I have been applying these protocols in my life right now, especially yung cold showers, and it is changing the game on how I stay focused and on how I can juggle 4 things right now in my life. I am working sa gabi during the weekdays. I am creating content such as this sa YouTube. I am a lecturer during the weekends and nag-aaral pa ako ng MBA ko. So kailangan ko talaga ng mga protocols na to. Kaya if it is effective sa inyo, please do comment also kung nakatulong ito sa inyo. Kapag may katanungan kayo or may gusto kayong isuggest na content na gusto nyong gawin ko, you can also comment it. But please, click like if this video is helpful sa'yo. Share it to your friends and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell kasi marami pa akong ipoproduce na videos almost every day. Nagpo-post ako specifically on agricultural science subjects. So maraming salamat ulit. Magkita-kita tayo. Happy reviewing, happy learning, happy studying. God bless everyone.